Okay, perfect. I think we're all set. So let's come into a comfortable seated shape. And you have a couple things in that I sent over WhatsApp or email. And on the very front page is the invocation to Patanjali. And then on the second page is this particular Yoga Sutra. So for those of you that are new to Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, he basically has 196 sutras that are all about moving towards consciousness or a state of well-being. And this was written thousands of years ago. And so the invocation to Patanjali is just kind of like a reminder as we're getting started that we're tuning into this practice of learning and wisdom. And so that's what the invocation represents. And then the sutra itself, we're going to kind of break it down over the next hour through our yin practice. So I'm going to teach you the sutra. We're going to do a chant. We'll move into a yin practice. And then I'm going to continue teaching as we move through the poses. So that's kind of like the structure of how this works. Normally at the end of this class, we do a 20-minute meditation, but we are going to not do the 20-minute meditation today just because we're also on our yoga teacher training and have like other things. We meditated already this morning. So today it'll be about a 60-minute or so practice. Okay, so wow, I'm so happy you're all here. Let's come into a comfortable shape. And you can anchor in through the sits bones and just close the eyes and lengthen up through the spine. And rest the palms on the lap and take a few deep breaths. And let the breath come all the way into the belly and then into the heart space. And then exhale from the belly and from the heart space. And do that a few more times, anchoring into the moment and the breath. So in a moment, we'll do the invocation to Patanjali, and you're welcome to chant along or just listen. So I'm just going to tell you what the Sanskrit is and what it means. So the very first verse is Yogena Chittasya Padena Vacham Malam Sharirasya Cha Vaidyakena Yopakarotam Pravaram Muninam Patanjalim Pranaliranatosmi. So this is the first verse. It's more commonly known, and it means, I bow with folded hands to Patanjali, the foremost of sages, who removed the impurities of the mind through yoga, of speech through grammar, and of the body through medicine. And then the second verse is Abahu Purushakaram Shanka Chakrasi Darinam Sahasra Shirasam Svetam Pranamami Patanjalim. And this is, I bow to Patanjali, who appears in the human form, the arms upward, who holds the conch, discus, and sword, who is white in color and radiant and has 1,000 shining heads. And you can choose to be sitting with your hands on your lap or even having them at heart center. When I learned Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, I didn't learn this chant. And it actually came to me about 2 years into teaching the sutras, one of my friends was co-teaching the sutras with me, and she started every class with this chant because her teacher did it. And I just love this because I feel like it really sets the intention. It's almost like Pavlov's bell, like you know that you're here to experience and integrate these deep wisdom teachings. And so that's why I like to start the class with it. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vairyakena yopakarotam pravaraham munina Patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi Abahu Purushakaram Shankachakra-siddharinam Sahasrashirasam svetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Let's do 11 Om sounds together. You can just roll these Oms. Start when you're ready. can take a deep breath in and hold that breath in your lungs. Sip in a bit more air. Exhale it out. Okay, do that one more time. Big breath in. Sip in a bit more air. Exhale it out. You can keep your eyes closed or flicker them open. It's up to you. And I'm just going to move us towards today's sutra, Sutra 1.33. So the reason why I jumped from 1.1, 2, 3, 4 all the way to 1.33 is because I think this is one of the best ones. And when I was like, okay, I'm doing a standalone class, this should be it. And this sutra is Maitri, Karuna, Mudito, Upekshanam. Those are like the first 4 words. So let's try those. Maitri, Karuna, Mudito, Upekshanam. Beautiful. Okay, now the next line is Sukha Dukkha. Great. Punya Apunya. And then Vishayam Bhavanta. Chitta Prasadam. Yeah, beautiful. So this sutra is saying, so Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha are these 4 qualities, these 4 heart qualities, which they also come up in Buddhism, right? They're called the 4 immeasurables in Buddhism, or like the 4 attitudes. The Brahma Viharas is what it's called in Buddhism. And so this is like an overlap we see in these 2. Maitri is the practice of friendliness towards those who are happy. So sometimes we see joyful people and they like irritate us because it's like, oh, they must have had life easy or whatever, you know? And so it's like, can we approach them with friendliness instead of like that irritation, which I know very well. I think of one person all the time who, one of my yoga students from like 12 years ago, who was always so happy. And I was living in Kuwait and things were like hard, you know? And she just would irritate me because I'm like, she's so happy. She must have had an easy life. And, you know, 12 years later, I'm like, I'm sure she had a lot of suffering, you know, and she's been able to overcome that and transmute it. And so it's not something that I should like meet her with irritation for. So that's Maitri. It's friendliness towards those who are happy. Karuna is compassion to those who are suffering. And what I see from this is like, you know, I think sometimes it's obvious for us to approach suffering people with compassion. And what I take from this is like, sometimes there are people that annoy us and we don't even realize that it's because they're suffering. You know, they're causing a bit of disruption in our life. And the root cause of that is that they're suffering. And that's where the disruption is coming from. And sometimes it's hard for me to be compassionate when I'm like, this person feels like they're acting in a way that's harming me. But flipping it around and seeing like, oh, they're suffering. Like this is a hard task for them. Or, you know, this is like a challenging thing they're in. And can I meet them with compassion instead of like an irritation towards that? Mudita is joy in others' success. This is a big one. Sometimes, I know there's a lot of yoga teachers here. Sometimes in the yoga world, I know this happens to me every time I teach the last yoga class of the day, I go out and I have to sign my name on like how many students were in my class. And the thing my brain does is it just goes through the whole list and like compares who had more students than me. Like this is this regular practice and it's been through my whole teaching career. And to remember that it's like, I should be happy that this person is their yoga teaching is clearly really resonating and they're successful and they're thriving and it like has nothing to do with me and like my day and my journey, right? But it's so easy for us to see someone else succeeding and have like a comparison. And so that's mudita. It's like, can I just be joyful towards others' success? And then the very last one, upekshanam, is one of the hardest ones. It's equanimity to those who are causing harm. And it doesn't mean like you're just neutral in the face of harm. It means that, you know, you can still stand up for what you believe, but not let it take you out of your place of balance, you know? So continuing to be in your balance, but having a sense of equanimity towards those causing harm around us. So this is Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upekshanam. I love it. And then Sukha, Dukkha, Punya, Apunya, those 4 words are basically connecting to those experiences like happiness, suffering, virtue, non-virtue. Vishayanam is towards objects, people, or circumstances. And then bhavanta chitta prasadanam this is going to bring us clarity of mind. So by cultivating friendliness, compassion, joy, and equanimity towards those experiencing happiness, suffering, virtue, and non-virtue, the mind becomes clear and serene. And I know Sarah is here doing this class online, who's our community member and manager. She's our member and our community manager. And I know this is her favorite sutra. It's a lot of people's favorite. I think it's her favorite. I think she's said that before. But a lot of people love it because it's one of these really practical ones that we can just pop in our minds. And then when we're experiencing internal suffering, just like revisit. So how I've spaced this out is we're gonna do Maitri Karuna Mudito Upekshanam twice, because those are like the 4 key words. And then Sukha Dukkha Punya Apunya, and then Maitri Karuna Mudito Upekshanam again. And then we do Maitri Karuna Mudito Upekshanam twice. And then the third line, Vishayam Bhavanta Chitta Prasadam, and then come back to Maitri Karuna. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You can just follow along. Maitri Karuna Mudito Upekshanam. Maitri Karuna Mudito Upekshanam. Beautiful. Sukha Dukkha. Sukha Dukkha Punya Upekshanam. I messed up the chords for that. It's Sukha Dukkha. I messed it up again. Sorry. I just wrote this last night. Sukha Dukkha Mudito Upekshanam. Let's try that one more time. It's F C G C. Okay, once more. Sukha Dukkha Punya Apunya. There we go, we got it. Maitri Karuna Mudito Upekshanam. Good, let's do that all together again. Maitri Karuna Mudito Upekshanam. Maitri Karuna Mudito Upekshanam. Sukha Dukkha. Sukha Dukkha Punya Punya. Beautiful. Maitri Karuna Mudito Upekshanam. Good. Once more with the last line. Maitri Karuna Mudito Upekshanam. Maitri Karuna. Maitri Karuna Mudito Upekshanam. Beautiful. Vishayam. Vishayam Bhavanta Chitta Prasadam. Beautiful. Maitri Karuna Mudito Upekshanam. Let's do the whole thing together once more. Maitri Karuna Mudito Upekshanam. Maitri Karuna Mudito Upekshanam. Sukha Dukkha Punya Punya. Maitri Karuna Mudita Upekshanam. Maitri Karuna Mudita Upekshanam. Maitri Karuna Mudita Upekshanam. Vishayam Bhavanta Chitta Prasadam. Good, last time. Maitri Karuna Mudita Upekshanam. Just place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly, and just feel that moving through our bodies. So what we're going to do is come into a few different shapes connecting to each of these 4 attitudes. And so the very first one we're going to take is a supported butterfly. And I'm going to invite you to just bring, I forgot to tell you guys at home, if you have these yoga props, if you have a pillow, that's great, or a bolster. If you don't have, it's also okay. So what we're going to do is come into reclined butterfly, and I'm going to tell you the 2 options. So if you're on a bolster or a pillow, it's going to turn it into a back bend. But if you don't have a bolster or a pillow, it's still going to be like a nice experience. And then you can take blocks or books and place them underneath your knees if your knees are like quite elevated. And so this is a hip opener, it's a heart opener, and your palms can be resting face up or on the belly and the heart. Good, and then just land in stillness and take some deep breaths. And I'm going to grab a sand timer so that I can just keep track of how much time we're in each shape. So the first of these 4 attitudes is Maitri. And Maitri is friendliness towards those who are happy. And I was kind of sharing this example I had of, in my previous life, I used to be a school teacher, and I found it very stressful, especially in my time in Kuwait. And there was this yoga student I had who I would see like twice a week at night, who was also a teacher. And she just had so much she just had such a sense of equanimity around all of the stress we were experiencing. Like, she never seemed to have a problem, and I would come into class and always want to complain about how stressed I was. And she just never seemed to have a problem with teaching. And I remember I interpreted this at the time of her life must have been easy. And I have this awareness now, almost a decade onwards, that she probably had a challenging life like everyone else, because everyone's life is hard, life is challenging. And this is an attitude that she had cultivated. She had cultivated trying to experience joy in every day. And so my judgment on her was, it was also an internal experience that was just creating suffering from me, right? It wasn't affecting her. She was continuing to just be equanimous and I was like irritated. And so I'm just curious if that's like something that you've ever experienced or can relate to any kind of like irritation when others are in this state of happiness, and if there's any kind of connections you can make to how your mind feels when it's softening around other people versus when it's judging other people. So that's Maitri. For those of you that are new to yin yoga, we take one shape and we rest in it for about 3 to 5 minutes. And the intention is to find your edge and to stay a while and to commit to stillness. And in a regular yin class, you might not experience so much like talking and teaching, but this is a unique one because we're fusing together the yin and the philosophy. So let's stay in our butterfly for about 5 more breaths. And then what we're going to do is just place the palms of the hands on the outsides of the thighs and bring the knees into close. And then just slide your way off of the bolster or pillow if you're on the bolster or pillow, and you could just slide it to the side and give yourself like a moment of neutral. This is like your rebound. It's just like a chance to integrate the experience. And then just pull the knees into the chest and start to make your way up and over. And we're going to come into a child's pose. So you can just like kind of rock your way up and come all the way around, and you'll just land on the hands and knees for the moment, and you're bolster or pillow could come underneath the body, and then you're just going to bring your body all the way forward and snuggle towards it. And you could also do this without a bolster or pillow, so you could also just be flat on the mat. That's absolutely fine. Just kind of let yourself drop into a sense of stillness. And again, we're going to be here for 3 minutes as well. Awesome. It's funny, I come over to look at the camera, but everyone, I can't see anyone because you're all in child's pose. I see Holly over there in Michigan. Nice. So the second quality is karuna, and that's compassion to those that are suffering. And I think this is about softening and not fixing and just trying to hold space. And that's why I paired this teaching with child's pose, because that felt connected, like just tuning inwards and being soft and held. You know, it's reminding me a lot of, this whole sutra today is just reminding me a lot of my role as a school teacher, because when you are holding space for that many children coming into your room every day, and a lot of them don't want to be there, and it's really easy to meet whatever energy they are bringing in with, you know, hostility or anger or irritation. And I feel like it's taken me like 10 years and time and space away from that job to come away and like, I mean, maybe I gradually developed it over the 6 years I was in the career, but just this ability to step back and see like how hard that is to be a kid and be in a classroom and maybe not like the teacher, or maybe not like the other classmates, or maybe have not slept very well at home, or have a lot of things going on, have no, you know, skills to communicate your feelings or communicate your needs, or leave if you want, or go home and rest, and just how out of your control your whole day is, you know. And when you see that from that perspective, it becomes a lot easier to just meet that experience with compassion and with grace. You know, I remember years ago, this memory just popped into my head that I haven't thought about from years. It was Father's Day 12 years ago, and me and my sister were going to drive up to see my dad for Father's Day, and we went to get our car, which was parked down the road. We grew up in like the city of Toronto, so we didn't have parking space for more than one car. So we had parked our car on the road, and we went down the road to get our car and saw that it had a hit and run. So we ended up not going to my dad for Father's Day because we had to go to the police station to report this hit and run. And anyway, this police person was like very, very rude to us. And my sister was like, and I had just gotten home from my yoga teacher training, so I thought I was like very enlightened. And my sister was like, oh, we got like the rudest police officer today. And I remember saying to her, well, maybe he's missing his Father's Day, you know? Maybe he's at work missing his Father's Day. Too. And it's like when you can meet those around us, like obviously he was in a state of suffering. He was being really difficult. But if you can kind of step back and see things from many angles, it becomes a lot easier to have compassion. I think I like irritated my sister more though in that moment. But compassion to those suffering, that's what I take from that part of this sutra. We're going to stay in this child's pose for about 5 more breaths. And then the next shape we're going to come into is a twist. So you're going to just peel all the way up. And then you can slide your whatever props you have to the side and just bring your body all the way around. And start to bring your body all the way back towards the mat. We're going to come back onto the back and just pull the right knee in and lengthen the left leg long and start to just do some circles with the right knee. You can circle the knee the opposite way. And then start to pull the right knee all the way over to the left. And we're going to linger in this twist for about 3 minutes. So your right knee goes to the left and your right arm opens and you can gaze over the right shoulder. Yeah. A bolster could be underneath the right knee as well. So mudita is joy in others' success. And at the start of the practice, I kind of gave this example of being a yoga teacher and comparing numbers. That's been like a common theme throughout my whole time as a yoga teacher. It's like we place our value or our worth on the numbers. And that's something that I've actually consciously tried to stop doing. You know, when I say that I'm doing a retreat or a training, through the whole time I've been doing this work, people's first question is how many people are coming. And I realized how bad that makes me feel and how I don't want it to be about that. Like I want it to be about the direct impact I'm having on each person and not how many people have signed up. And so part of my work as a yoga teacher trainer is that I'm helping people step into these professions themselves. And so it's really hard to, well, first of all, it's a huge learning of like, there's room for everyone, you know, and I don't have to see competition because I'm helping grow many yoga teachers into their own retreat business, their own teacher training business, their own yoga class business. So there's not competition in any of that. But also I have many students who have started running retreats, like maybe 5 or 10 of my yoga teacher training graduates are running retreats. And I had a conversation with one student where whenever someone tells me they're running a retreat, I ask them, you know, what are you doing? What are your plans for the retreat? What are you excited about? And not how many people are coming, because I just know how that question made me feel over the years. And so I think about that. It's like, can we step away from that feeling of feeling like we're all in competition? When other people are having success, how can we channel joy towards their success and know that each of us has our own unique gifts and there's no one like each one of us. We're not going to be in competition with each other because we're following our own unique dharma. We're offering the gifts that we're meant to offer the world. And that's what karuna means to me. It's like, can we celebrate the success of other people and not feel threatened by it, or let it be a standalone, independent thing. I've worked in the sober world as well for many years. A lot of my students are like sober or yoga people, and I see this done pretty well in a lot of the sober world. It's like we all have this common goal of like, we want people to be healthier and happier. And so I feel happy when I hear someone else is doing coaching with another sober coach, or someone's going on someone else's sober retreat. Like, that makes me feel happy, because I want them at the end of the day to be alcohol free, or to be happier and healthier, and whatever means to get them there is a success, right? And so if we see everything we're doing as a collaboration, then it's a lot easier to meet others' success with joy. Stay in the right-sided twist for just about 3 more breaths. And then lift the right leg all the way up, and then pull the left knee in and lengthen the right leg, and then just do some circles with your left knee. You can circle it in one direction and then circle it the other way. And then pull your left knee all the way over to the right, and then we'll just land into our twist on this side for 3 minutes as well. And the very last one is upeksha. And upeksha, or upekshanam, is equanimity to those that are causing harm. And this is like the biggest question mark I always get in my Yoga Sutra study discussions. It's like, how can we be equanimous to people that are causing harm? And especially when we see so much harm happening in the world. And what I take from this is like, so my university degree was in gender studies, and I was a vocal, and still am a vocal, outspoken person for the things that I believe in. And I think that's an important part of yoga. It's like speaking up for the things that we believe in. But I'll share, like, as someone who lived in the Middle East for 7 years, I spent my whole 20s in the Middle East. When things start, like when the war started in Gaza in a few years ago, I don't think I got out of bed for like 2 weeks, because I was like so upset and so paralyzed and so angry and so confused. And I don't think that contributed to much positive in the world. Like, for me to just not be doing my work, right? And so I can still have an opinion about this, and I can still speak out for what I believe in. But if I let it take me down and take my well-being down, then that's not going to be of service and benefit to anyone around me. And so what I take from upekshanam, it's like, I can speak my mind and I can stand up for what I believe in, but can I do it in a way that doesn't throw me totally off kilter? so that I can serve and I can still make a positive contribution to the little world around me, and know that things happening out of my direct environment are very out of my control. What are the things that I can control directly right here? And that's what I take from upekshanam. So it's not like being neutral in the face of evil, but being equanimous. So I think it's important to express an opinion, but not meet it with heightened anger or resistance, or bringing more hate or more suffering into the story, the situation, onto the table. Stay in this twist for about 3 more breaths. And now just bring your left knee all the way back up. And then give your body a soft little hug with knees into chest. And I want to give you a couple options right now before the rest pose. So you could come straight into just like a traditional Shavasana if you're happy there. I was going to do, I had a legs up the wall planned, but as always, we're running out of time. And so you could either come straight into Shavasana, or if you're like near to a wall, or I'm going to show if you're not near to a wall and you have the yoga props, because we do have 2 blocks and a bolster. So I'm just going to show people that do have the props how I make like a little makeshift kind of prop. It's like a little table. So you could do that. Or you could scoot your body towards a wall and just lift the legs up. Yeah. And so we'll be here for a couple of minutes, and then you're welcome to stay here or come straight into Shavasana. And I did say at the start, I can't remember when I promoted this, I said it was going to be 70 minutes or 90 minutes. So I apologize. I was thinking more about my YTT students and us getting to breakfast and class after. So we are, so this will end up being, and I'll give you guys extra time, don't worry if we go a little bit over time, but we ended up doing our meditation. So we do 20 minutes of meditation twice a day on the yoga teacher training. And normally when I teach resting with the sutras, I do a 20-minute meditation at the end. But today we in the YTT did the 20-minute meditation before. And so that we won't sit for a meditation after, but you're welcome to do that on your own or together. You could stay on a Zoom call. But we will go over that 60-minute mark in our Shavasana. So if you only have an hour, that's totally fine to sneak away. And for my YTT students that are here, I'm going to give you some extra time before we come back. So don't worry, you will get your delicious breakfast. Just let yourself rest into stillness for a few moments. This is kind of like legs up the wall. It's like the dessert at the end of class. And just kind of a moment to integrate and put it all together. So Sutra 1.33, Maitri Karuna Mudito Upekshanam Sukha Dukkha Punya Apunya Vishayam Bhavanta Chitta Prasadam. By cultivating friendliness, compassion, joy, and equanimity towards those experiencing happiness, suffering, virtue, and non-virtue, the mind becomes clear and serene. And that's all it's about at the end of the day. It's like, how can I reduce my internal suffering so that I can meet the day with more ease, meet the people around me with more ease. Presence and loving awareness. What would that look like for you? And then we are going to be in Shavasana for about maybe 5 or 10 more minutes. So you could stay if you're happy with your inversion. Or you could come all the way into a traditional Shavasana. It's up to you. Just letting yourself meet the moment with presence and balance and ease. Karuna mudito pek shanam Maitri karuna mudito pek shanam Sukha dukkha punya apunya Maitri karuna mudito pekshanam Maitri karuna mudito pekshanam Maitri karuna mudito pekshanam Sukha dukkha punya apunya Maitri karuna mudito in the light of love. In the light of love, we are whole. In the light of love, we are home. In the light of love, we heal and sing. Thy will be something I have this general sadness or grief about is that yoga has lost so much of this powerful stuff that can really transform our lives. And I really am so grateful that there's so many of you out there that are curious and have open minds and hearts, and you want to learn what's been forgotten. And that there's other people walking on this path of the vast and profound yogic studies. You know, it's not a workout, it's a work-in. It's a practice of the spirit. So that's just a long way for saying thanks for coming. Thanks for being here, for sharing the practice. Let's wiggle the fingers and wiggle the toes. Take a big stretch through the body. Whether you joined us at midnight in Europe or 3 p.m. in California, or if you traveled all the way to Bali because you have this yearning and you know that there's more. Let's pull the knees into the chest, give your body a hug. Ram Dass says we're all just walking each other home, and that's really been a theme of mine for the past month. Let's rock to one side, the right or the left. And how cool is it that we've all come across each other, whether we've come across each other online, whether we're doing this teacher training together. Vanusha came all the way here, one of our teachers, to be in the class today. How cool is it that we've all found each other? And now we're not walking the path alone, we're just walking each other home. Push through the palm of the hand, make your way up to seated, hands in heart center. So this mantra, I apologize, it's not on your PDF. I do this one typically at the start and end of every yoga class. So if you've done a class with me, you've probably heard it. This Patanjali class is a little unique because we invoke Patanjali at the start. So instead of invoking Patanjali, we're just going to do the Guru Mantra now, which just acknowledges all the many teachers that we've all had in our lives, the teachers that have passed this from heart to heart through thousands of years, and finally, the number one teacher, which is the teacher within you. You are your own teacher. You can join or you can just listen. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Paraham Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Good. Deep breath in. Sigh it out. Good. Deep breath in. 3 Oms, 3 Shantis. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Wow, thank you so much, everyone. That's the first time we've done that class with in-person people, and it was so awesome to have all of you here in person and on Zoom. So nice to hear you all chanting together. The light in me, it sees and it honors.